The motorbike staggered on the dirt road. Behind was a large tiger rushing forward in hunger or anger. The driver kept his balance for a split second, then accelerated to escape when the tiger stopped and turned back into the forest. That moment is not just survival, it is the thin line between luck and tragedy.
Like that. Shit like that happens every time.
Seth bought the guitar at a rummage sale, but as soon as he plucked the first string, everything started going wrong.
I pick it up or strum it or play it, really weird shit happens, and I'll show you. I did some Lotus, like very 80s looking guitar, and every time I strum,
cups fell, lights flickered, and a few days later, Seth himself disappeared from social networks without a trace. Does the guitar carry a memory or a soul that hasn't left?
Like that. Shit like that happens every time I mess with this thing. Shit like that.
No one appeared in the frame. There was no movement, only a sudden, desperate sound. The scream kept echoing in the listener's ears, like a forgotten cry for help. Do you dare to rewind that part? Turn up the volume and try to hear it clearly again? She calls it a spiritual relationship, living with, taking care of, and even organizing a wedding ceremony for zombie dolls.
Unconditionally through the good and the bad days.
Okay. Do you, Robert Cadillac, take Felicity Cadillac to be your...
She was diagnosed not to have a mental illness, but still affirmed that the relationship was real and there were mutual feelings. Love or paranoia? The story left many people confused and unable to take their eyes off it.
Very good. You can kiss man and wife.
The tree trunks vibrated slightly, rotating their axis, as if reacting to something invisible to the human eye. The cameraman stood dumbfounded, only muttering, "This is not right at all." A moment like something out of a horror movie, but this time in real life. A family in Mexico accidentally recorded a strange image in their house late one night. A blurry movement, like a small figure, flashed past where there were no windows or light. Some people believe it's a soul, some people say it reflects light, but so far, no one has a reasonable explanation. At first, it was just idle talk, but then the boy repeatedly pointed to a corner of the house and said, "He's crying again."
Oh, why have you drawn that? Oh, really?
Parents began to pay attention. and discovered that the camera in the room recorded a whimper in the middle of the night. Is it just mischief or a spirit looking for someone to listen?
Oh, really? Right? Is he crying? Does he cry quite a lot?
Yeah, because he's got his fever up there and he's up there
Okay.
in the corner.
Okay, thank you.
But he knows me at the night because he keeps saying,
A quiet night in the deep forest was suddenly torn apart by screaming sounds unlike any other animal. The person filming the video stood still, holding his breath, trying to find the direction of the sound, but only saw the shadow of a swaying tree. Some people call it the voice of an ancient creature that existed before humans existed. In the frame, an event repeats itself as if time is folded within itself. All surrounding movement stopped for a split second, then continued as if nothing had happened. Viewers exclaimed, "Are we really living in a simulated reality?" The laughter suddenly stopped when the wind suddenly blew past, chilling to the bone, even though no one turned on the air conditioner.
No, es el árbol, es la sombra. No. Velo bien.
A dark shadow loomed in the distance, causing everyone to step back, a feeling of fear quickly spreading in each person's eyes. No one could explain what happened. There were only whispers and eyes still looking back in that direction.
Claro. Ya vámonos. ¡No te pases! ¡No te pases!
In the empty hallway, the wheelchair slowly left its original place, without being touched by anyone. Its movements were too slow to be propulsion, but too deliberate to be random. The silence made the scene even more breathtaking, as if a soul was wandering around unseen. Adlai Mestre, 24 years old, arrested for murdering his entire family and dog, was brought into the interrogation room bloodied and cold. While the camera was recording without looking away, he suddenly performed a bold action that left the police unable to react, and the entire social network held its breath. His chilling coldness and escape in the middle of the investigation center have raised questions about the flaws in the security system and human nature when faced with the abyss of crime.
Et on va faire. Eh mec, c'est quoi ça? Quoi? Où? Quoi? Eh mec, c'est quoi?
She stood there, motionless, her empty eyes staring into the darkness behind the camera. The person filming the video kept his distance, whispering, "Is she waiting for something? Or someone?" Their bravery makes viewers admire, but do you dare turn around and stand closer?
Ça se trouve, c'est quelqu'un. Waouh! Ton film, pas qu'on n'a pas rêvé que.
Oh my God, bro.
The homeowner removed the old board and discovered that behind it was a deep tunnel, cold and completely silent.
With a fucking hole. I advise go in it.
There's no map, no one ever talks about it, and no one knows when it was built. Is this a forgotten structure, or an entrance to something that has never been awakened?
God, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Come out here.
In the quiet house, a soft whisper suddenly rang out from the dark basement.
I heard something. Nothing? Is anyone there?
He stood still, his hand trembling on the doorknob, trying to listen again to make sure he wasn't imagining it. If it were you, would you step down or close the door and pretend you never heard anything? He didn't knock on the door, didn't move, just stood there, staring through the glass into the house. The camera recorded the empty but confusing eyes, as if waiting for some signal from inside. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and saw someone watching you from the yard? Being the first person to board the plane, the girl was startled when she saw a shadow of a person passing between the rows of seats. No one else was present. There was no sound, just the feeling that something was still sitting there. Some experts believe that it is an afterimage of a soul that was once in trouble, but why hasn't it left yet? An employee working the night shift began to feel something unusual around him. The camera recorded a short figure running across the hallway, with no footsteps or breathing. Some say it's a hallucination caused by insomnia, but the video shows something more. Taylor did not choose to run away. He rushed up the stairs shouting, "If it's a ghost, I'll punch it straight."
She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now.
The scene shakes violently as he raises his hand, and the video ends amid chaotic screams. Is that brave or crazy? What would you do if you were faced with an unexplainable entity?
Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
This is the second time I've come over here, and the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me.
Cracking sounds rang out from above. Pieces of wood fell close to the person filming the video. He raised his head but saw no one, just the dense canopy of trees and deep darkness. Whether it's a joke or something inexplicable, the clip is enough to make people wary every time they go into the forest alone.
Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down.
Yes, I don't know if you can see that, but that thing just keeps moving.
While filming a play video, the YouTuber was stunned when he saw the toy rotate slightly, even though no one was touching it.
But that thing just keeps moving completely by itself, with no one touching it.
At first, he thought it was a coincidence, but the rhythmic and purposeful movement forced him to recheck each frame. Science can explain, but the creepy feeling doesn't go away easily. In the middle of a quiet room, the ball rolled slowly on the floor without any wind or movement. No one touched, no string pulled, just a strange trajectory that gave viewers goosebumps. Do you think this is a physical phenomenon or an invisible guest at play? The camera recorded the dog barking fiercely towards a dark corner. Then suddenly, it was pushed down and the necklace burst open. No one was nearby. There was no collision. It then tremblingly stares behind the camera, where it is believed an invisible entity is watching. The cameraman was walking in the middle of the night when he heard a pleading voice coming from the dense darkness. There was no sign of anyone, no footprints. Only a weak sound full of despair rang out and then disappeared. Will you head towards the sound, or turn around and run out of the forest before morning?
Hello?
The person who was relaxing was startled to hear his name being called softly, very close.
Hello?
There was no one in the house, the phone was turned off, but the sound was as clear as coming from behind the door. Are you sure that when you're alone, you're really alone?
Hello?
The mother and her child returned home as usual, not knowing that something was waiting for them inside. Just a few minutes later, a scream rang out. The camera recorded the door being opened forcefully from the inside. No one believed it until they watched the clip again and realized something had come out of the darkness with them. No one knew where that scream came from, but panic covered the entire ship's cabin in just a few seconds. The person holding the camera shook his hands, not daring to take his eyes off the empty hallway ahead. In the midst of the darkness closing behind the door, what would you do if you were there? Everything seemed normal until two small hooded figures suddenly appeared behind the brick wall. They only appear for a blink of an eye, then disappear into the darkness, giving viewers goosebumps. The incident caused fierce debate. Is the magical creature really, or just an illusion from blurry video? The camera caught a dazzling flying object, moving in an impossible curve and then suddenly disappearing. At that moment, the video signal distorted as if disturbed by strong electromagnetic waves. Many believe this is the rare time modern technology has been surpassed by something from elsewhere.
Why is nobody there? Is he on the stairs? Is he standing there? Where?
The little girl raised her head and pointed up the stairs and exclaimed, "There's a man standing there."
What did you see?
No one else was present. No sign was recorded, just a long silence after that statement.
Show Mama where's the man. Ria, show Mama where's the man. Why is nobody there? Is he on the stairs? Is he standing there? Where?
Adults laugh it off, but those who have heard children talk about invisible friends will find it difficult to sleep peacefully afterward.
Where? Show Mama where's the man. Ria, show Mama where's the man.
While everyone was playing, one of them accidentally turned the camera towards the partially open wardrobe. A pale face with dark eyes appeared briefly, and then disappeared when the cabinet door was opened. The inside was completely empty, but the feeling of being observed remained.